What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got some crazy news for you guys in this video. Could a popular antiviral supercharge the pandemic? And this comes right after President Biden announced that the pandemic is going to be ending in May. Could this reintroduce it? I'll give you the details on that. And the Pentagon is monitoring a suspected Chinese spy balloon that is flying over the US and is still there right now. That's right. Take a listen to this. It's pretty crazy.
We've got some breaking news to get to, an exclusive out of our Pentagon team, because apparently there is a suspected Chinese spy balloon that's been hovering over the northern U.S., according to 3 officials familiar with this. A spokesperson for the Pentagon calls it a high-altitude surveillance balloon, saying they're monitoring it closely. Courtney Cubie has been on this. And Court, so Montana, parts of Alaska, Canada, and potentially over some U.S. military sites. Do I have that right?
Yeah, so it was last spotted that we know of about around Billings, Montana. That's a couple hundred miles from Malmstrom Air Force Base, which critically is where the U.S. keeps some of their ICBMs, their Minuteman III ICBMs. That being said, as far as we know, it was not over that base. U.S. officials were still extremely concerned, so concerned, Hallie, that yesterday, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, while traveling in the Philippines, convened a meeting of his senior leaders in the middle of the night his time, including Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Mark Milley, other DoD leaders, the head of Northcom NORAD, who was here in D.C. at the time, convened them to discuss this. They looked at the track of this balloon, where it had been, where they believed it was going, and then they assessed its ability to actually gather any intelligence. They looked at options, including taking it down out of the sky. Ultimately, they came to the decision, to the agreement that if they were to shoot this thing out of the sky, it would create a debris field that would put people and assets on the ground in Montana potentially at risk. But it got to the point they were so serious about this potential that when there was a window while this balloon was over Montana, they actually scrambled U.S. fighters, including F-22s, with the potential that they could take this thing out. They presented these options to President Biden. He concurred. Ultimately, they didn't shoot this surveillance balloon down, but they are taking action on the ground. A U.S. Senior defense official said that if this balloon continues to fly and it goes near any sensitive places, they keep open the option to shoot it down, and they'll move things around on the ground to make sure that it can't actually gather any important information, Hallie.
This is incredible reporting, Court. And as you say, it is significant for a lot of the reasons that you've laid out. It also feels like now that we know about it, there is a major, not just military component here, but like a geopolitical diplomatic component, right? Like you would think that the administration would be wanting to presumably send a warning to China that says, absolutely cut this out.
So all we know about that so far is that the U.S. has communicated with China, both here in D.C. and in Beijing, that they're aware of this balloon and they have sent some sort of a message. But I spoke with a senior defense official who declined to say exactly what that message was or whether the Chinese acknowledged that this was their balloon. All that we know so far is the U.S., the Pentagon, is confident that this does belong to the People's Republic of China.
Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that this comes also, and I'm sure China knows this as well, because a major U.S. general warns that the U.S. could be at war with China at or before within the next 2 years. And then the U.S. here, just within the last 24 hours, has secured a deal with the Philippines for a major military base in the Philippines to complete an arc around China. So apparently we are gathering military bases all around China. And now China is sending balloons over the United States. And you heard the Pentagon, or you heard them say that the Pentagon is sure that it is owned at least by China. We're not sure what it is for, and they're considering shooting it down. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts here on this. Yeah, also check out this. Could a popular antiviral prescription drug supercharge the pandemic? Now, this is from science.org. So, I mean, this is a pretty credible source here. This is a prescription drug from Merck, and it's called Molnupiravir appears to be speeding the evolution of the virus. Yeah, and here's why. You're not going to believe this, but it's pretty crazy. Yeah, check this out here. A widely used drug for the virus has been driving the appearance of variants. And we're seeing all these new variants almost every month. And a lot of people are wondering why. Is this just natural? Is there other causes here? And you can see here, sparking concerns it could prolong and even reinvigorate the pandemic. This drug called molnupiravir and is produced by Merck and Company is designed to kill the virus, but get this, it's designed to kill the virus by inducing mutations in the viral genome. Yeah, so just think about that for a second. A survey of viral genomes reported in a new preprint, however, suggests some people treated with the drug generate novel viruses that not only remain viable, but spread. Yeah, and remember here that it does this by inducing mutations in the virus. Yeah. Here's a quote from a virologist. It's very clear that viable mutant viruses can survive from this treatment and compete with existing variants, says virologist William Hazeltine, chair of Access Health International, who has repeatedly raised concerns about the drug. Says, quote, I think we are courting disaster, but a Merck spokesperson disputes that the drug has led to the emergence of widely circulated variants. And some researchers have downplayed the significance of molnupiravir caused mutations. This drug has been authorized in the United Kingdom and the United States since late 2021. It was the first oral antiviral approved anywhere to fight the virus and has since been authorized in dozens of countries. In 2022, Merck estimated global sales of the compound at more than $5 billion, though it is well below the $18.9 billion of sales also for Paxlovid. Yeah, so we're literally learning new stuff about the virus and treatments and all this different stuff here on a daily basis. And remember here that President Biden just basically declared the end of the pandemic emergency will end on May 11th, despite obviously the virus has not gone away. And also, China actually just recently announced here that more than 88 million people in one of their districts, in just one of their districts, had been infected with the virus. And that was just in January here. 88 million people. Remember, only a little bit over 100 million people in the US have been infected, at least by official counts here in the US. They had 88 million people infected in just one district in China. And then China also came out and said here that they had about 80% of the population in China has now been infected since they've basically gone and opened their doors and got rid of the um, zero COVID policies here. But remember, 80% of their population, well, China's population is over 1.4 billion people, and that was as of 2021. So that means that like a billion people, not a million, a billion people were just recently infected with the virus. And well, we know how easily it can spread. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. And also, when the pandemic is declared over, millions of people in the US are going to be losing benefits here in the United States. A lot of benefits. Extra SNAP benefits are ending here actually at the end of February for millions and millions of people. About half the states are now ending their extra SNAP benefits, which is terrible. People that are on Medicaid that shouldn't be on Medicaid, which is actually millions of people, are going to lose that benefit. Title 42 that allows the government, it started with former President Donald Trump and now Biden, to be expelled when they come over the border illegally, mostly in Mexico. That may have to end as well because that's a pandemic era benefit that the government actually benefits from. So there's a lot of different things that the government is going to have to get rid of unless they re-up it for some reason, like a resurgence of the virus. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here with everything that the mainstream news does not cover a lot of, like this stuff. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to click the bell icon after you subscribe. I got some really good videos here you can watch next. Here's former President Donald Trump talking about building a missile defense system to protect our country. Really good video there. And here's a video about on the House of Representatives talking about how to fix Social Security and how much debt our country is in and how to fix that as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.